In the 1970s, the hottest Honda in America was the new CB750. It attracted thousands of fans. One of them, a teenager with an unusual nickname.
People call me Fast Freddie, and my name's Freddie Spencer.
Freddie Spencer was another reason CB750 sales skyrocketed in the U.S.
I started riding the CB750 in 1980, my first year with American Honda, and I was 18 years old.
Fast Freddie finished second at the 1980 Daytona 200, a remarkable accomplishment for a teenager who had never ridden such a powerful motorcycle in his life. In 1982, Freddie Spencer became the youngest rider in history to win at the highest level of the sport, Grand Prix racing in Europe. He was just 20 when he shocked the racing world by riding a Honda to victory in the Belgian Grand Prix.
It wasn't just the idea of go out there and do the best you can. At that level, it's war.
A war that Freddie Spencer escalated in 1985 by going after 2 world championships in the same year. Freddie would compete in 2 different classes of racing based on different engine sizes. No one has ever tried that before or since, and no one thought Freddie could do it, except for one man, the Maverick, Seiichiro Honda.
He respected the fact that nobody thought we could do it.
No one outside of Honda might have thought racing and winning in both the 250cc and 500cc Grand Prix classes was possible. But inside the company, Seiichiro tells the racing division to make it happen. The result? 2 motorcycles that become legends. The NSR 250 and the NSR 500.
でこの1985年はですね、フレディ・スペンサーにとりましては、もう一つの
1985 was a marvelous year for the rider Freddie Spencer. Not only did he become world champion in the 500cc class, but he was also world champion in the 250cc class. This is the Honda NSR 500, the factory race bike that in 1985, the genius rider Freddie Spencer won the World Championship Grand Prix on.
I was able to go out and win the world championship, and I became the youngest world champion, and still am.
In what is perhaps the greatest single season ever for one racer, the man nicknamed Fast Freddie becomes the only racer to ever win both the 250 and 500cc Grand Prix championships in one year. And Seiichiro Honda shows the world another side of his maverick personality. Instead of the normally reserved public image of a Japanese corporate executive, Mr. Honda cries.
Mr. Honda was standing down on the podium. He had tears streaming down his face, and I got him up there, and there's a picture of him up there, and I've got my arm around him.
And for Fast Freddie, it would take a while to realize just what he and Mr. Honda had done.
You know, deep breath, deep release of breath. It was so demanding that the truth is that it took a while for it to sink in.
From Freddie Spencer's unprecedented victories in 1985 through today, Honda's heart still beats fastest on a racetrack.
This is the pride of Honda because this motorcycle achieved the pinnacle of MotoGP racing success. In 2002, this actual machine, the RC211V, made its debut in MotoGP with Valentino Rossi riding it. and we won the World Championship.
RC211V, really the fastest, best bike in the world, as it proven in Grand Prix. If you win in Grand Prix, you're building the best in the world. The RC name tag for Honda is magic.
The RC211V makes magic once more in 2006, when another American rider, Nicky Hayden, wins another world championship for Honda.
To see him basically grow up racing motorcycles and live the dream that any kid who starts riding and racing at local tracks can ultimately become world champion is a great statement to the ability of competition in America to be able to develop world champions.
Over the course of its history, Honda has won more world championships than any other brand. That's important to all riders because racing has a trickle-down effect.
The bikes that are winning races this year will be, technology from those bikes will trickle down in the next few years to us.
Another part of Honda's legacy is how technology developed for racing always ends up on bikes anyone can buy. Honda's latest sport bike, the CBR 1000RR, is a great example of how street riders benefit from racing.
Just light, incredibly powerful, superbly agile, and that's what the new 1000RR has sort of done. There are all these little details on that bike that you kind of miss, but what they've done is taken things off, reduced the number of fasteners. You know, you look inside the fairing, and the fairing's held together with, I think, like 4 screws.
It is the idea of getting a bike super light that changes direction and a bike with a lot of horsepower that can jump off the corner, and that's really what they've captured.
Honda CBR 1000RR is the company's top-of-the-line sport bike. And this is where all Honda CBR sport bikes are built. The Honda factory in Hamamatsu, Japan. The factory dates all the way back to 1954, but it's been modified and redesigned multiple times over the years. One thing that has never changed at the factory is that everyone always wears white work clothes. It is a unique form of quality control.
If you're wearing a white outfit, it's very conspicuous once it gets dirty. And if your white outfit is dirty, that means that there's something wrong in the workplace.
It is a very efficient workplace. Ask how long it takes to build one CBR, and the answer is virtually right down to the second.
It is about 1 hour, or 3,600 seconds.
That 1 hour, or 3,600 seconds, begins with building the engine. And they do that with the engine turned upside down, assembling pieces from the bottom up. When an engine reaches the final assembly line, it's flipped over, or as they say at Honda, turned upside down in the right direction. When each engine is finished, it begins a long trip through the factory, moving from the first floor up to the second floor, down to the basement, and back up to the final motorcycle assembly line on the first floor again. It is a way to maximize the use of limited space within the factory.
In order to minimize the use of space and also to make it possible to shorten our main line, we are producing modules here. They are producing the front fork module. And here they are sub-assembling the front fork and the tire.